Hey guys, taking you through the rest of Act 2, Scene 3 from the one and only episode of Hamlet commentary brought to you from the newly decorated Holiday 233 classroom. All right, here we go.
How chances it they travel? Their residence, both in reputation and profit, was better both ways.
I think their inhibition comes by the means of the late innovation.
Do they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed?
No, indeed they are not.
Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently, so you never have to slow down at work. Stay on top of emails.
Skip.
How come they grow rusty?
Hey, their endeavour keeps in the wonted pace. But there is, sir, an eyrie of children, little ASs that cry out on the top of question and are most tyrannically clapped for it. These are now the fashion, and so berattle the common stages, so they call them, that many wearing rapiers are afraid of goose quills and dare scarce come thither.
This is not a terribly important part of the play, but what they're doing is discussing the troupe of players, many of whom are really young, who are touring the countryside and are coming to put on a play at the castle. And obviously Hamlet's very excited about this, but he's kind of using it as an opportunity to kind of step into the skin of the Shakespeare is using an opportunity to step into the skin of Hamlet, the character, and give some critiques as far as like what he thinks of various productions and the way that they're criticized. So it's kind of drama, Elizabethan drama of the time, like inside joke and conversation. But yeah.
What are they, children? Who maintains them? How are they escorted? Will they pursue the quality no longer than they can sing? Will they not say afterwards, if they should grow themselves to common players, as it is most like if their means are not better, their writers do them wrong to make them exclaim against their own succession?
In faith, there's been much to do on both sides, and the nation holds it no sin to tar them into controversy. There was, for a while, no money bid for argument unless the poet and the player went to cuffs in the question.
Is it possible?
Oh, there has been much throwing about of brains.
Do the boys carry it away?
Aye, that they do, my lord. Hercules and his load, too.
It is not strange, for my uncle is king of Denmark.
That is pretty strange.
And those that would make mouths at him while my father lived give 20, 40, 50, 100 ducats apiece for his picture in little. Splad, there is something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it out.
There are the players.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come. The appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my extent to the players, which I tell you must show fairly outward, should more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome. But my uncle, father, and aunt, mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad. North, northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from her hand saw.
Now that's a really strange thing for him to say, isn't it? Because he's basically letting on to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern that he might be faking, that he's crazy. Why would he tell them that when he knows that they've been sent by the king and queen to kind of figure out what's going on with him? So again, a lot of ambiguity in the plot, almost like nonsensicality, nonsense. I can't think of the word, but yeah, it seems kind of nonsensical. Okay.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you too, at each ear a hearer. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling clouds.
Please, the second time come to them. They say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy he
They're making fun of Polonius as he approaches them because they all think he's a blowhard buffoon.
comes to tell me in the players' market.
You say right, sir. Monday morning, it was so indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome...
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz, buzz.
Upon my honour.
Then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene individual or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy nor Plautus too light. For the law of writ and the liberty, these are the only men.
Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou.
What treasure had he, my lord?
Why, one fair daughter and no more? The which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter?
Am I not in the right, old Jephthah?
If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well.
Nay, that follows not.
What follows then, my lord?
Why, as by lot, God wot, and then you know it came to pass, as most like it was. The first row of the pious chanson will show you more. For look where my abridgments come!
Okay, so he's through messing with Polonius, and the actors are coming. So don't worry about everything with that again. Although you probably can't tell that he's making some maybe inappropriate jokes about Polonius's daughter toward the end there, being kind of sarcastic and out of bitterness for what he maybe knows what's going on and what has happened. So anyway, he does seem genuinely excited that the players are there. The players are actors, okay, in case we're getting mixed up about that. So he's talking to them, seems to be familiar with them, right?
You're welcome, masters, welcome all. I am glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. Oh, my old friend, thy face is balanced since I saw thee last. Comes thou to beard me in Denmark? What, my young lady and mistress? By our lady, your ladyship is nearer heaven than when I saw you last, by the altitude of a chopine. Pray God your voice, like a piece of uncurrent gold, be not cracked within the ring. Masters, you are all welcome. We'll into it, like French falconers, fly at anything we see. We'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my good lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted, or if it was, not above once. For the play I remember pleased not the million. 'Twas a caviare to the general. But it was, as I received it, and others whose judgments in such matters cried in the top of mine, an excellent play, well digested in the scenes, set down with as much modesty as cunning. I remember one said there were no sallets in the lines to make the matter savoury, nor no matter in the phrase that might indict the author of affectation, but called it an honest method, as wholesome as sweet, and by very much more handsome than fine. One speech in it I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, especially where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the...
Okay, so Hamlet wants to kind of act with them a little bit, right? And so he's bringing up the speech, and the content of the speech is kind of important because it's depicting something from the Trojan War. I don't want to get into the background of the whole thing, but it has to do with Pyrrhus, whose father has been killed, right, by Priam, who is the king of Troy, and they're hiding out in the Trojan horse, and he wants to get out, and he wants to kill Priam and defeat Troy to avenge his father. Sounds kind of familiar, right? So you would think that this would mean a lot to Hamlet, right? And that it would fill him with a lot of emotion to recite something because he would relate to the character's feelings and passions, right? So he's trying to recite it from memory, right? He's not a professional actor, so see how he does, and then you'll see if you look ahead that the actor takes over, the pro.
Canian beast. It is not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the knight resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse, hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal. Head to foot now is he total ghouls, horridly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and empasted with the parching streets that lend a tyrannous and damned light to their vile murders, roasted in wrath and fire, and thus o'ersized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam speaks.
With eyes like carbuncles because of his absolute anger and thirst, to avenge the death of his father and friends too, right? So they're inside the Trojan horse. So Hamlet's recited for a while. Now Polonius interrupts.
Proceed you.
For God, my lord, well spoken and with good accent and good discretion.
And on he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arms, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming top, stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus' ear. For lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So, as a painted tyrant, Pyrrhus stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing.
You ever have one of those dreams where you are thinking about striking or hitting someone that you hate? I have this every night. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be psychotic. And maybe you've had that. It's a common psychological phenomenon to have that dream and to not be able to follow through and do it. Like your fist just like pauses in the air, like something's stopping you, and then you wake up yelling, "I hate you," or something. So Pyrrhus, right, stood like a neutral to this will and matter and did nothing. Now, who does that remind you of? Someone who has the will and the reason to get revenge, but it's just like stuck, right?
But as we often see against some storm, a silence in the heavens, the rack stands still, the bold wind speechless, and the orb below as hush as death. Anon the dreadful thunder doth rend the region. So, after Pyrrhus' pause, a roused vengeance sets him new a work, and never did the Cyclops' hammers fall on Mars, his armour, forged for proof he turned with less remorse than Pyrrhus' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out, out, thou strumpet Fortune! All you gods in general synod, take away her power, break all the spokes and fellies from her wheel, and bowl the round nave down the hill of heaven, as low as to the fiend.
I don't think this audio performance gets across what you want from that actor playing that actor there, because I think what you want, the point of it, is that the guy gets so emotionally overwrought. He's got tears like streaming down his face. He's yelling and screaming. Well, he's just acting, right? It's not something personal to him, but he's good, right? So he like shows the passions and the emotions a lot. You know, there's this amazing portrayal of that in that movie. I'll try to post the scene of where Charlton Heston, this actor who he passed away several years ago, but he does it so well. Like he just like freaks out. And Hamlet's over there like, oh, wow. So Polonius interrupts.
This is too long.
Shut up, Polonius.
It shall to the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on. He's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Say on. Come to Hecuba.
But who?
Hecuba is the queen, and she's seeing Pyrrhus chopping up her husband, the king.
Oh, who had seen the Mobled Queen?
The Mobled Queen.
That's good. Mobled Queen is good.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with bysson rheum, a clout upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank and all o'er teemed loins, a blanket in the alarum of fear caught up. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, 'gainst Fortune's state would treason have pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamour that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look where he has not turned his colour, and has tears in his eyes. Pray you no more.
Oh, it's too much for Polonius. But so even though I don't feel like that actor in that audio gets it, the level of passion that he needs across there in the way that he says it. You hear Polonius say, look, he has not turned color, like he's turned red, his face is flushed, and tears, you know, in his eyes. So if nothing else, if you're directing it, you see that line, you see what's going on there.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for they are the abstracts and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you were better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
My lord, I will use them according to their desert.
God's bodkin, man, much better. Use every man after his desert, and who shall scape whipping? Use them after your own honour and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow.
Polonius goes
Dost
out.
thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have tomorrow night. You could, for a needs, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well.
Follow that lord, and look you, mock him not.
Aye, my lord.
My good friends, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye, so. God by you.
Okay, so he's in deep with these guys. They respect him. They listen to him. And he's asking if they can put on a play. So now we got a play within a play that Hamlet is somewhat involved with and is influencing by putting in a number of lines into the play. So he's obviously up to something here. Interesting. Okay, and now through this soliloquy, you're going to hear kind of Hamlet's, his emotions in general right now, but part of this is a reaction to that actor and the way that he was playing the part, the way that he did, and how he's kind of relating that to his own circumstances and emotions. So everybody's gone. He's by himself. Long one here.
Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his whole conceit, that from her working all his visage wanned, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing? A Hecuba? What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears, and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculty of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull...
Okay, transition there. The contrast, right? He's talking about the actor. This is all make-believe to him. What if he had the stuff going on that I do? What would he sound like then? He'd blow the world away with his performance, right? Yet I...
And muddy metalled rascal peak, like John a dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie, the throat as deepest to the lungs? Who does me this, huh? Swoons, I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered, and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I would have fatted all the regent kites with this slave's offal, bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? Aye, sure, this is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words, and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion firepont fool about my brain.
Okay, kind of another transition there in that line right there. He's got a light bulb moment, right?
I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions, for murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle.
Aha!
I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Somewhat of a plan. He's got to do something. All right, I will leave it at that, guys, and I will see you for the in-class live review of Act 2 on Tuesday.